World. I am Lauren Konkar-Sheehy, the Executive Director of the Garden State Film Festival, and joining me today is David Schoner, who is the producer of Arthur Futuro. Tell us everything.
Oh, well, wow, there's a lot to say. So the biggest thing was when you look at kids' content right now, it's all this sitcom-ish kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And it's nothing that you emotionally get attached to, or it's something that you can follow in a way. You watch one and done. Sitcoms are one and done. So I wanted to co-create with my partner a show that was serialized, where it's you follow the flow of the show through the entire process. And also, I wanted to create something that was made for tweens, not for adults or kids in high school, but tweens, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
So my co-creator and I created a show called Arthur Futuro.
That's awesome. And I love just what you said. You get invested in the characters and you follow along the journey that they each have. So how did this project come to be?
So it came to be is my co-creator and I met over Twitter, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, we were tweeting back and forth, and we started working on an idea that would be made for tweens. And at the end of the day, he had a different little bit of vision than I did, and I wanted it kind of like slapsticky and stuff that would be jokes, little fart jokes also.
Yeah.
You know, and so I ultimately took over when it came to do the entire pilot. And so it's about a show about kids and really what happens when you change something and how it alters everything down the line.
Right.
But it's a comedy.
Tell us a little bit about Arthur.
So a little bit about Arthur. So Arthur Futuro is about a middle school kid named Arthur, and he has 3 best friends, and they go to aftercare because when you're in middle school and your parents can't pick you up, you go to aftercare. So they're in aftercare, and Arthur realizes that he left his math book back in a classroom, goes back to the classroom, and when he goes into the classroom, he finds out that the smartboard turns on. And his future self, 40 years into the future, tells him that he needs to change the present because his best friends are not in the future. Now remember, that's right, that would be your reaction, but it's made for tweens. So it is not scary in that traditional sense and things like that. And so the kids have to make an electromagnetic disruptor that it will disrupt the pattern of things. And it's about how the kids do that. And they all have, each kid has a little interesting personality, and they need to navigate the Russian gym teacher and also the very mean math teacher. So, but it's a type of show that I wanted to create that where you had an invested interest in the characters. At the end of the day, it wasn't one and done. You wanted to be invested in them in a way that was positive.
And see more at the end. You know, you're wanting more.
Exactly. The show is designed, this is the pilot that's screening at the festival, but the show is designed for 8 episodes. And so if you miss episode 4, you're going to have to go back and watch episode 2 because everything adds up in a pattern to the conclusion of the of that particular season.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And in a little bit, maybe we can look at the trailer. But tell me how creating the cast and all of the crew, how did you go about that process?
So with the cast, our biggest thing is we wanted it to be colorblind. And that it's just kids, and whatever the kids may be, that's what it is, and the parents are what they are. And so we did a casting call. I had Ed Berghold and really did the casting for me. We told him what we were looking for, the type of kids, and he brought in an amazing group of kids. A dynamite job. And AJ Swears and I really show ran the whole thing, and we sat through all the casting and did everything. And it was a bit of a challenge finding that right mix, but we got that perfect mix of kids. They're amazing. And the crew was a fun mix too. A lot of Montclair State University students came on board. A young man named Christopher Bonsamino was our director of photography.
Oh, wow.
And the biggest thing we wanted out of the show is we wanted it to look like a feature film. We did not want it to look like a sitcom. We did not want everything evenly lit as we all know what a sitcom looks like.
Right.
And that's not what we wanted. We were modeling it after Amazon has a show called Gadamer's Life on Normal Street. And it looks like this looks like a feature film that's a weekly series.
Wow.
And so that's how it took off.
Unbelievable. So great. And then I think it's a little beneficial that you are on the Cedar Grove School Board Association. So, you're in the school, you know how the kids act and react to things. And I think that's important for targeting tweens for this because, you know, the world's wild, and it's nice that you're providing a creative outlet for them to kind of get lost in and to enjoy that journey of what's going to happen. Is their math homework going to be in on time? We don't know.
Well, you know, and also we didn't want to because tweens are young adults, and we didn't want to be scary, but we also didn't want to dumb it down. And so a lot of TV is exceptionally dumbed down. Don't get me wrong, there's ridiculous stuff that goes on too.
Yeah.
But we walk that line, and I'm really happy on the line that we walked. And as the season would progress, if we made more and more episodes, you will be impressed how we walk that line where we keep it enough where adults could be interested in it and be fascinated by it, not be bored by it, and at the same time keep kids engaged, those tweens
awesome.
engaged.
So let's talk about your other success with the screenplay of Arthur Futuro.
Yes, so it's been a lot of great stuff. We've been really very particular. So I think you may be alluding to Emmett Gray.
Yes.
Yeah. So
right, yeah.
yes, no, it's
Sorry,
all good.
I'm
No.
like melding everything together in the 300 films.
No, yeah, no. So Emmett Gray is another. We have a pitch deck for it, and we're actually working on a short film of it, even though it's designed as a TV series with arcs and everything. We decided that we were going to make a short film of it as a way to do a festival run and bring attention to it. And so the man who won, John, who won the Garden State Film Festival screenplay competition 2 years ago, beautiful script called The Last of the Burley Girls, actually is writing it. Awesome. And so it's another thing that involves a young man. So Emmett Gray is about a 12-year-old kid who lives in Montclair, New Jersey, and one night his parents are coming back from a benefit dinner and they are killed in a car crash. And so this is a dramedy.
Right.
And so Emmett is in love with the music of Sam Cooke, knows everything about Sam Cooke, understands Sam Cooke, and it's kind of a little odd that he's so fascinated by Sam Cooke. And Emmett's family really doesn't know what to do with him. What are we going to do with him? Where are we going to send him? So, because no one really wants to take care of him. So what they decide to do is they're going to send him to live with Uncle Charlie in Atlantic City. Now, one of the things I forgot to tell you, this is 1961. So it's Atlantic City in 1961. They pop him on a bus, send him down to the bus station, and when he gets to Atlantic City, gets off the bus, is waiting in the bus station. And he's waiting for Uncle Charlie to arrive. And all of a sudden, a woman comes up to him and says, "Are you Emmett Gray?" And he says, "Yes." And he looks up at her, and she looks down at him and says, "I'm your Uncle Charlie." And Uncle Charlie is a drag queen in Atlantic City in 1961.
I love it.
Yeah, and it's all about how these characters, there's another third character of a black woman who makes this nucleus family, how they're navigating Atlantic City, 1961. They're navigating how they're all fish out of water trying to get by with music infused through. Yeah.
So cool. So I know that we need and want more productions to be here in New Jersey. So talking about Atlantic City and that you did this, you do a lot of things in Cedar Grove. Let's change the topic a little bit about New Jersey and how well we're doing with the tax incentive.
We are doing very, very well. You know, COVID's been a little bit of a damper on it, but COVID aside, we're currently right now we have the Equalizer filming all over New Jersey
Awesome.
with Queen Latifah, which is fantastic. She's back. I always say the Queen is back in the home. And we also have the second season of the Hulu TV series Wu-Tang.
Awesome.
We attracted them. We got them in Jersey. So we're really excited about that. And we just finished wrapping the pilot for a TV series called Ways and Means with Patrick Dempsey. That's even more exciting. But
I saw the pictures, I forgot. Yeah.
But one of the more exciting things is in May, Netflix is going to be releasing Army of the Dead, which is Zack Snyder's sequel to Dawn of the Dead.
That is
and
awesome.
also we know the Avengers all. So he filmed in Atlantic City. They were down in Atlantic City, I want to say for about 3 months last year, once again prior to COVID. And so, yeah, they're going to be releasing it in May, and we're really excited about it.
Awesome. Ming, do you hear that? Awesome.
It's exciting, Ming. And, you know, zombies. And the great thing about it is that New Jersey can be any place. We have this ability you can be Jersey or you could be anywhere. And so the casino they film in is actually supposed to be Las Vegas.
Oh,
so
cool.
what happens is apparently there's been a zombie apocalypse in Las Vegas.
I believe it.
Yep, I could see it. And the federal government has walled in Las Vegas.
Whoa.
And a group of vagabonds, I guess that may be the word, my word, they have to break in and steal some money from the casinos.
Gosh.
Yes.
Makes so much sense.
So obviously all hell breaks loose.
Yeah. That's so cool.
But it's Zack Snyder, so it's going to be amazing.
I'm so excited. And so I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
Wait, go ahead. What were
No,
you
I was
saying?
going to say also in December, we have Steven Spielberg's West Side Story.
Oh, right. Yes.
We're excited about that. They filmed here. And the last thing is the prequel to Sopranos.
Oh,
which
yeah. Ooh,
I'm
so
not sure
excited.
exactly the release date, but we're excited about that show also.
And then do you want to talk about the Joker quickly?
Well, yeah, the great thing about the Joker is they filmed for approximately 10 days in New Jersey. So when you see Gotham City, Gotham City is Newark, the city of Newark transformed into Gotham City.
Unbelievable. I love looking at the cars and everything. And just thinking, God, how many did they have to get ready and roll in?
It was pretty intense. They changed maybe 10 to 12 city blocks into, because Gotham City in the Joker, you don't know really what eras. It's 60s, 70s, 80s. And so they transformed all these blocks into,
so beautiful.
Amazing. And the Brennan Courthouse in Jersey City is actually Wayne Manor, where they have the chaplain's banners hanging down and the Joker gets thrown down the steps. So that's Jersey City.
Oh, wow.
And then the Lowe's Jersey City is where, I don't want to give it away, but Bruce Wayne's parents get killed.
Oh.
Yeah.
People probably don't know.
They don't know that, I know. So that happens in the alleyway behind the Lowe's Jersey City.
So beautiful over there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, for those of you at home that may not know, the Garden State Film Festival always has high school films in our annual festival. Right. And then after the Garden State Festival, in October, we go to the New Jersey School Boards Association, where we then show a selection of our high school films to over 8,000 new people. So if you had any tips or tricks to our student filmmakers or someone who's just starting out, what would you say to them?
I would tell them, tell your story. It's about your passion. Just tell your story. You don't have to overthink it. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be long. Everybody has a story to tell, and they just need to tell their story.
Yeah, that's true.
It is.
And keep moving. Don't give up.
Yes, exactly. It is about, this business is a tough business. Everyone wants to be in this business. And I don't mean that at all. It's actually empowering. You just have to be dedicated, have passion. And at the end of the day, it's about persistence. The Garden State Film Festival is around for 20 years. Well, it's 19 now, but
19.
20 years next year. It's about persistence.
See my gray hair from those 19 years?
But, it's just about persistence. And obviously you have to figure out how to make it work. And that's what I would tell the young people too, is just figure out how to make it work. You can do it.
And we're super excited that we're 6 days this year. The Garden State Film Festival is March 23rd to the 28th. And we kick off the festival at the Cranford Theater in Cranford, New Jersey, where that's one of the locations that your film is going to be at. So let's talk about how warm and exciting Cranford Township is. The town of Cranford.
I have been involved with the Township of Cranford when I first started working at the Film Commission, and the current mayor, Kathleen, used to run the business district. Cool. Cranford is the place where creativity happens. They're the place that no matter what is going on, they are aggressive and making things happen, whether it's in their downtown, and they go all in. And that is exciting, and so it's wonderful that we're going to be screening. The first day of the festival is going to be screening in the theater, the hometown theater of Cranford. And it's just it's an amazing community. I can't say enough about it.
Me too. I mean, I'm in love with them. They're our Biffles forever. So I just want to explain a little bit, because the Garden State Film Festival has a patch that the Girl Scouts are receiving when they come to the in-person event at the Cranford Theater and also the virtual event during the festival on the Saturday. So how we're working it at the Cranford Theater is there's 4 different theaters inside the Cranford Theater, so 4 auditoriums, and the Girl Scouts are taking over the whole entire theater from 1 o'clock to about 3:45. And then for the 4:15, each different theater is staggered 15 minutes for physically distancing so everyone can get in no problem. And then we have open to the public. 4:15 is the next showtime, and 4:30. And then later that night, we have a Harry Chapin documentary starting at 7 o'clock. And again, the 4 theaters will be, full, but to COVID capacity. We're all following the state mandates. And it's going to be a great time. We're super excited. We're going to be there.
Yes.
And I just can't say enough great things about Doreen and Karen at Cranford. and how wonderful it's been working with them. We're just absolutely thrilled to be there.
You know, the great thing about Cranford is the community goes all in. You know,
Yeah.
Karen, who runs the business district right now, Doreen, who runs the Cranford Theater, they're all in. And they were excited, and it's a great community. So if you're coming out to watch the movie, you can grab a bite to eat, grab a drink, walk around, get get a pretzel or two, a little coffee. It's an amazing community.
Right, or you can do dinner after, get snacks
That's
at the
true.
theater and
That's
dinner
right.
after. We had a great meal at the White House station.
No, it was the
Wait,
station house. The
Station
station.
House.
Yes,
I
that was
made-
yes.
I made up. I think I'm thinking White House.
You the white, yeah.
Or the White House sub shop in
Atlantic City,
Oops,
yes.
sorry, we love food.
Yeah, you know,
We love food.
we do.
All we do is talk about eating.
And and also, if just an interesting thing about Cranford, I
Yeah.
know I'm going off a little bit, is
No.
that if you're watching The Plot Against America on HBO,
Oh.
downtown Cranford is actually a scene where the Nazis are beating up people in that storyline. So it's Cranford is always in a starring role, and they make things happen.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's so cute. And you just go, everyone's like, I don't know, Cranford. Just get in your car, go up the parkway, boop, and you're right there. Literally, you're
That's
right
right.
there. You get off. It's beautiful. Park, across the street. We're going to be there, so we want you to be there
Yes,
with
come.
us.
You have to come.
That is Tuesday, March 23rd. The festival kicks off at Cranford, and we're just super duper excited. So, and the festival, you've been involved like every single year
Yeah.
along with me. So, Kristen was like, next year's our 20th. She's nervous now about what I'm going to want to do for the 20th. I was like, should I jump out of a cake with like sparklers but with clothes on, guys? Should we do a parade and just all of us be... So our 20th is next year. So the wheels are going to be spinning about how we want to celebrate
Yeah.
our big 2-0.
And that is a big accomplishment when you think about it, and even when you talk about the festival and think about even last year how your boots on the ground, how the festival pivoted in 2 weeks to get it off the ground and not have it stop. It was a big deal.
Yeah. So again, the Garden State Film Festival was not only the first, but the only festival to present in 2020 without postponing or canceling. And we only had 11 days to pivot.
Mm-hmm.
With the help of F&S Digital, we created our own platform. We had security, so all of our films were securely streamed, live streamed globally. So basically, when everyone is literally locked away in their homes, we were able to bring joy all throughout the whole world through your mobile device or television. But seriously, by bringing, it was 246 films last year from over 20 countries. This year, are you ready? We have over 300 films from over 25 countries.
Wow.
So we have 9 venues total. Cranford is one of the 9 that's live. And then we have 4 live in Asbury Park and 4 that are live stream only. So for example, if you go to our website, gsff.org, and you go to the schedule, it's amazing because you can click on 2021 schedule and it brings up the whole app and the whole schedule. So you can search by day. If you go to Thursday, you can click on it and there's a documentary about WBGO, the jazz radio station that's playing that night. So you can actually see everything that's playing on Thursday, everything that's playing on Saturday. You can also go to the film list A through Z. So if I want to type in Arthur, I can type it in. I'm really typing it. And it will pop up. But what I love is you can buy the tickets right there. So in person, everyone just has to pay attention because in real life, the Mayfair is one of our virtual venues. And guess what? That's a historic theater that was in Asbury Park that's closed.
Right.
The Brookdale Performing Arts Center, in real life, because of COVID, it's closed. So people are not going to physically show up to our virtual venues. We don't want you to do that. So I can't repeat enough. Do not go to the Paramount Theater in Asbury Park. It's a virtual venue only because they're closed as well due to COVID. The St. James, once again, is a historic theater that used to be in Asbury Park. So the Mayfair, the Brookdale Performing Arts Center, the St. James, and the Paramount on the schedule are the 4 venues on the right-hand side. They are all virtual only, and it says web, virtual events only. I know that people don't like to read, but we type all this up for your eyeballs to see it and your brain to connect the dots. And then all of the 4 venues on the left side, the Asbury Lanes, the Asbury Hotel, the Berkeley Kingsley Ballroom, and the Berkeley Johnny and June Room, they are all live in person. The little tricky part is Saturday at 1:15 to 3:45, the Asbury Lanes is closed. They have another event. So that film block, even though it's at the Lanes, it says web, so you know, don't drive there. So that's going to be screening virtually. So we're thrilled. And then Cranford is there. Everything is there. This has my notes on it.
I know.
You're like,
but
what?
but it is pretty thorough. I think if you pull up the PDF of it and look at and search stuff, you really did a great job in being very thorough in what is web based, what is hybrid, that structure.
So.
Because I was looking at it as well.
Awesome. We thank you so much. So it takes a lot. The schedule is like a crazy Homeland looking Excel sheet, where we're like going crazy. And then it turns into this beautiful app. And another thing about the app, I'm gonna be calm. But our app, what's happening this year, long story short, ask me in Asbury. But no, just kidding. So our app, we're actually going to use the GSFF 2020 app. So if you go to the App Store or the Google, I have a Droid. I know everybody hates me, but so whatever this is called, the Play Store. Yeah, the Play Store. If you type in GSFF 2020, you can find the app. Long story short, the 2021 app, the people behind the curtain do not want any ticket links available on the app, and that doesn't make sense.
Right.
We need to give you the app. You need the information. You need to know where to go. You need to know where not to go.
Right.
Like the virtual venues, don't go there. But you need to be able to just click, boom, buy your ticket and make it easy. So we didn't want it to be a headache. So it's a little tricky, but the 2020 app really has the 2021 information, and we cannot go in and just change the image where it says 2020 to update it to 2021. So the GSFF 2020 app, we know that's outdated, but guess what? It's not. The 2020 app has the 2021 info. I could explain more in person if you get me cornered. But we're super excited. So FNS Digital and Kristen Dorado, kudos to them. They've been working round the clock for all of our ticket links. And Diane Raver, she is our Excel queen. She loves typing.
Loves setting up systems.
Yeah, and the app. So on brown paper tickets, if you go to our website under tickets, the tickets are all listed there. It's really beautiful. Kristen did a beautiful job at the bottom because it says the film blocks. But the virtual only are through Eventbrite, and brown paper tickets are in person. So that should help understand, what am I buying?
Right.
And in the app, it says purchase virtual ticket or purchase in person. We think that it's helpful, but if anybody has questions, you can email me at Lauren, LAUREN, at gsff.org. So I know, especially the cast that you had in the film, how did they feel watching it all come together, and were any of them their first time out of the box doing this?
So there weren't really. They were pretty much seasoned pros in a way, and not in a jaded way. It was amazing. Eric, who plays the lead, and there's Addison and Angelina and Daniel and Sophia are all they were all involved in filmmaking in some capacity. The interesting thing is that Addison lives out on Long Island and came in, and Daniel, I think, is in Brooklyn or the Bronx. I forget exactly where. And Sophia actually is from the Monmouth County.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Monmouth County. And Angelina, I think, is also from Long Island. But it was great because it's about, creating a bit of a community and also letting them know, you're dealing with kids. So you have to make sure that they feel comfortable, they feel, involved, and also their parents do, and right from the get-go. I like to a bit of over-communicate when you're dealing with people because I think, because you put everyone's mind at ease, and also you're letting them know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And it took us a little bit longer to film the show because, kids and minors are limited on the amount of hours they can work in a day.
Right.
So we were a little bit longer than I would have probably have preferred, but it just is what it is. At the end of the day, the product came out.
Was there candy at Crafty? Was there tons of candy?
We had candy. We tried to eat healthy as much as possible.
I know, but you need, even during the festival. So we move into Asbury Park, and then Diane always surprises us with candy. So during the whole duration, we're like, oh my God, where's the chocolate?
I would just eat myself silly. Yeah.
I mean, it happens.
It does.
Yeah.
And also, there's a lot going on. You guys are breaking your butts to make things happen. So you indulge when you're breaking your butt.
Need a little.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kristen will get that glaze over. I'll be like, here's chocolate. That's awesome. And so, Emmett Gray, what other projects do you have in the works?
So I'm also working on with AJ a show called Tutty, and Tutty once again is about takes place in Atlantic City, but this time it takes place in Atlantic City in 1921.
Oh, I love it.
And it's a silent black and white shorts that are about 2 minutes long.
Oh, wow.
And it's all about Tutty is a man who works in the code enforcement office of Atlantic City, and he is responsible for inspecting women's swimwear.
Oh my.
Because back in that period of time, if it wasn't the proper length, you could be arrested or fined. And so everyone thinks the Roaring 20s were the insane flapper era. But in the beginning of, when you talk about 1918, 19, 20, 21, 22, it really was not. It was still very a Puritan kind of view of things. So we're creating these little shorts, and Ryan Moore wrote 4 of them, and we have a total of 6 right now. And so we're going to start shooting them, filming them in April.
Oh my gosh. I love looking at the old pictures. Even in, I think the Robinson Ale House, I think they have the old pictures, and I think the Berkeley too. You can see the historic beach garb.
Well, it's interesting because Atlantic City, it's great capturing the texture of the city, and we're excited about it. It's going to be nice to do some little shorts, and we want them to be short because it's really paying homage to Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, Roscoe Arbuckle in that period of time. And you don't want to have a 10-minute short that's silent because, film language has really changed.
Yeah.
And I think shorts will be palatable. People get a kick out of it. They're cute little moments that are, something you would see before a feature film somewhere.
That's awesome. What about the little umbrellas? I'm obsessed.
The umbrellas, and it's interesting how when you do research on Atlantic City in that period of time, how that was the place and how you used to have to walk under the boardwalk and you could not walk out on the boardwalk, and about changing, and it was a very different period of time.
That's so cool. And we've had a lot of the cast members from Boardwalk Empire at the Garden State Film Festival. I loved that, especially when it first came out. No, it wasn't shot in New Jersey. We'll talk about that later. But I love seeing all the costumes in that period and seeing them on the beach. And it had to be to their knee or basically about there with the little ruffles.
Yeah.
So, wow, I'm going to want to know more about costume and everything when you get closer.
Yeah, and the vignettes are stuff that you would see, those, what was very typical of that time period. Those characters, what they do, how they kind of a little goofy. And we'll have some title cards as well, just to get you through it. Yeah, and so that's going to it's going to keep me creatively sane. Especially, we're coming out of COVID. It's a slow road, but it's a great way to do stuff and have everyone feel safe and also stay creatively sane.
And even looking at the same time period pictures of people on the boardwalk, all dressed up. Now everybody's literally sweatpants, even before COVID.
Right.
Sweatshirts, sweatpants, and it's like, wow, what has happened to us?
That period of time, you were fully dressed.
Yeah.
You were head to toe. There was and it wasn't like it was layers of clothing.
Right. So I think it's important for our students and kids to see what it used to be like. So I don't think anybody really talks about it. Mm-hmm. And unless you go, I think even Atlantic City, they have the historic pictures, and it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Well, keep us in the loop about that.
I absolutely will. I'm looking forward to it.
Smile. So anything else about Arthur Futuro that you would like to tell us about?
Nothing else really.
Stay
just
in school,
yes,
do your math homework?
I have to say, I'm really thrilled for the cast and crew, how they broke their butt on the show. They gave it their all. They were dedicated, and it's exciting to have it for them. To be screening at a festival and to have the recognition, this is really for them because they worked hard and gave it their all for us.
Oh my God, they're amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm watching television, and it's a show.
Yep.
It's all ready to go in case anybody wants to buy it right
Yes.
now. We're all good. But it's a really beautiful piece, and we're very thrilled and excited to have it be presented at the Garden State Film Festival
Thank you. We're excited to be there.
at Cranford, and also virtually
Yes.
on Saturday. So for more information about the Garden State Film Festival, visit gsff.org. Any more secrets about filming in New Jersey you want to spill? Let me twist your arm.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff on the horizon that is going to be happening, and we are just really excited about it. Get ready. I think the biggest thing I would say is when people are watching stuff on TV and in the movies, they don't realize how New Jersey is all there. Trial of the Chicago 7.
Right.
It's all Jersey. So
I
it's
know
those
what.
things.
Okay, the first thing is David denies that there is a Central Jersey.
Oh yes. Oh no, you're gonna start like you're gonna
maybe
start
we
this
won't,
now.
but I always
'Cause
say
I'm gonna
that
start getting hate mail.
Okay, fine, we won't. We'll blame it on HBO. So long story short, I say I live in Central Jersey, but in the real world, Central Jersey doesn't exist apparently.
Yes, I bust Heather all the time that there is
And
only
Lauren.
two, and Lauren
Yeah.
too. And yes, I bust all of you. I guess you all kind of live in South Jersey, right?
I don't
Because
think
Diane's,
Oh, she's more, yeah.
yeah,
Beach, yeah, like
beach.
the
So
shore.
I always bust that there
I don't
is
go to
only
the
two sections of
beach.
Jersey, that there is no Central Jersey.
Yeah.
But people have written articles that it does exist.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
know.
very like the Pine Barrens and the Jersey
Right.
Devil.
Right.
Does it exist or doesn't
Does
it?
it? And we did have a film, I forget what it's called right now, but where it said really New Jersey's kind of cut on the side and it's very east and west.
Yes.
And heroes or subs, I don't know. We just say a sub or a hoagie.
Yeah.
So all of that stuff goes along with that.
Well, like Taylor Ham too. I mean, we
yeah,
could have a
Pork
whole argument or discussion about whether it's Taylor Ham or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. So speaking of Taylor Ham, we should get something at Bell Works here
Yes.
to eat after this. The
Yes.
pizza at Bell Market.
I found out one other thing. I just realized is that Mischief Night is a Jersey thing.
Oh, really?
The rest of the country does not call it Mischief Night.
Oh no! So we're a bunch of jerks.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like we have
Ransacking
our own
places?
little thing going on
Oh,
here.
that's so funny.
Yeah.
And sprinkles. I mean, are they Jimmy's?
Well, sprinkles too. Yes, that's.
I mean, Jersey Freeze is right there. We can.
We'll find out.
see
Ask them. What are those
you know,
things? We can quiz
sprinkles or
them.
Jimmy's.
We'll quiz them and see what it is.
They'll be like, "What? They're young kids. What are you talking about?" Well, thank you so much for being here. We're super excited to have you being a part of the Garden State Film Festival 2021, even though the app is GSFF 2020. For more information about that, you can email me. But visit gsff.org for tickets, for more cool information, for our honorees. We didn't even really talk about our honorees yet. So, yeah. And with that, we will see you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we roll this trailer? I really want to
let's
see
roll the
it.
trailer. Oh, good. Yeah, I didn't know
Okay,
you were...
here we go.
I didn't want to...
You better pick it up in Massford. Mr. Jute may kill you if you end up in his class again next year.
Guys, it's nearly 3. We've got to be in aftercare in 2 minutes.
Calm down, Mel. What are they gonna do if we're 5 minutes late?
Oh, thank God, I thought I'd never get you.
Are you that teacher that moved to China or something?
I'm you. From the future.
What?
The future is not great, Arthur. Your friends, Ferd, Ava, and Mel,
Who are you? Who is late?
they don't exist in my future.
Yeah, right.
You need to build an electromagnetic disruptor.
It's a device that messes up electronics.
We're doomed!
We may have to use books.
Step 1. Maintain a low profile. Don't let anyone know we're sneaking out to the media center during aftercare.
Hey, Isabella, we're sneaking out to the media center during aftercare.
First one to tell me where they went gets to play with a hula hoopla. Students, I am here.
I don't believe in people from the future. I couldn't even fathom it.
You have made grave mistake making me your enemy.
High school must be hard. I mean, I don't understand any of this.
Let's go. We don't have much time.
Just promise me you'll save our friends. I'm really bored in the future without them.
I'm really excited for not just only the Cranford Girl Scouts, the Jersey Shore Girl Scouts, and the Delaware Girl Scouts, but for all of New Jersey and globally to see this, because it's such a feel-good piece at a time where, I mean, these kids need it so badly.
Agreed.
I won't even go there. We'll be here talking all day.
Yes.
Yeah. But awesome. So for more information, for tickets and all that jazz, visit gsff.org. All of the graphics and stuff, you can follow Arthur Futuro, and we'll see you in Cranford and in Asbury Park.
That's right.
Peace out.
Yes.